Imagine this. You're in an intake interview. The client answers all your questions clearly. Hindi siya umiyak, wala siyang emotional outburst. And on paper, the case looks manageable. But midway through the interview, the client pauses and asks, "Pwede po bang tumigil muna?" You stop. After a few seconds, the client says, "Pagod na po talaga ako. Hindi lang po ngayon." At doon mo marirealize, this is no longer just a case to assess. This is a person reaching a limit. Kung ikaw ang social worker sa harap niya, anong uunahin mo? Ang proseso o ang kanyang current situation? Hi everyone! Welcome to the AM Corner, where we start our days right and our futures bright. I'm Andre, and this channel is a space where we talk about social work, mental health, and real-life professional experience that matter. Today's video is about mental health in social work, a topic that's often talked about but not always fully understood. Beyond stress and burnout, mental health in social work is deeply connected to our environment, our support systems, and the rights of both practitioners and the people we serve. So, tara na't pag-usapan natin yan. Let us first define what is mental health. Mental health is more than just the absence of a mental disorder. Ito ay isang state of well-being that allows us to recognize our full potential. We can be able to handle the normal stresses of life and function in our daily activities. And the mental health has two ways, no? Unang-una, yung intrinsic value, no? Ito ay yung pakiramdam mo ay mentally well ka. You have peace of mind, you have clear understanding, clear thinking, and balanced emotions. Pangalawa naman, we have instrumental value where when your mental health is good, you can work, you can maintain your relationships, and you can contribute to your family and the society. Let us all remember that mental health is an active resource. Ah, Ito ay nagbibigay sa atin ng ability to manage our own stress, to have or to make decisions, and to influence our environment. Let us give an example. No? A person might not have a diagnosed mental illness, pero minsan no, hindi niya kayang i-cope yung small changes sa trabaho niya. Or sometimes we struggle to maintain relationships, no, kasi mental health natin is affected. Remember na ang mental health is not black and white. No? It's a spectrum, and with the right coping skills and support, anyone can function effectively. Determinants of mental health. Mental health is shaped by a mix of different factors. And hindi lang siya isang bagay. No? Some factors are risk, and this increases vulnerability and include individual factors. Example nito, poverty, no? Exposure to violence, or strict parenting, especially during early childhood. Pangalawa naman, protective factors. This build resilience and include social emotional skills, quality education. This help people cope up, no, and bounce back from challenges. Example yan, no, if we have a supportive family, we have a strong community connections, etc. And remember, no single factor predicts an outcome. Tandaan din natin na for resilience, this is the ability to bounce back to predicaments or obstacles in our lives. Example natin, no? Imagine there are two children growing up in the same poverty neighborhood, no? So mahirap sila, that's a risk factor. Yung isa, may supportive na teacher and member siya ng isang youth club. So dahil dito, nakabuo siya ng resilience and she was able to continue her study despite the stress sa paligid niya. Dumako naman tayo for the biological basis ng brain and behavior. Bakit ba natin kailangan pag-aralan ito, no? Because social workers need to understand the brain anatomy to recognize how physical issues can show up sa behavioral changes ng ating mga client. So for a quick breakdown, una-una, no, frontal lobe, this is about problem solving, organizing, planning, emotions, yan, yung behavior natin, and also our mood. Ito ay sensor, no, ng ating executive functioning. Social workers often support clients who have difficulty regulating their emotions or making decisions. So kung nahihirapan yung client natin sa kanilang mood or behavior, maaring suliranin kung sobrang stress sa environment or nakakaapekto siya sa kanilang ability to plan or problem solve. Next naman, we have parietal lobe. Ito naman about sa sensory information, smell, taste, touch, and pain. Mahalaga ito para maintindihan kung paano nararanasan ng client ang kanilang environment. Kapag sobra ang pain, maaari silang maging irritable o withdrawn na pwedeng maling ma-interpret bilang lack of cooperation. Occipital lobe process visual information, visual system, left from right, and shapes and sizes. Tumutulong ito para ma-interpret ang visual information. Sa mental health, kung paano nakikita ng client ang mundo o may visual distortions, malaki ang epekto nito sa kanilang sense of safety and reality. Temporal lobe, speech, hearing, short-term memory, long-term memory, and balance. Nakakaapekto ito sa speech and memory, mahalaga sa intake process. Kung nahihirapan ng client na mag-recall o mag-express ng pangangailangan, pwedeng sanhi ito ng trauma-related memory issues o cognitive fatigue, hindi dahil sa dishonesty. Cerebellum, balance, coordination, attention, rhythm, and posture. And for brainstem, breathing, heart rate, and consciousness. Kinokontrol nila ang fight or flight response. Example, no, kapag yung client natin is in crisis situation and mabilis ang breathing, yan, possible na tumaas yung heart rate nila. And social workers use grounding techniques para ma-stabilize ang automatic functions at maibalik yung client sa kanilang state of consciousness kung saan sila pwedeng makipag-dialogue. Ano nga ba ang unique role ng isang social worker sa mental health? While doctors, they focus on treating illnesses, tayo no, as a social worker, we intervene where people interact with their environments. Ang tinitignan natin, social determinants of health, housing, employment, yung access sa social justice. And our work is rooted in human rights and social justice, aiming to address the root causes of challenges, not just their symptoms. Kaya dito no highlighted change, empowerment, and liberation of people. Ano nga ba ang dapat na core skills na meron tayo, no? We have advocacy, ensuring clients receive appropriate services and rights. For the case management naman, coordination, no, interdisciplinary services, and for supportive listening, building therapeutic relationships to gather diagnostic data. Example natin dito, no? Isipin mo na ang isang client ay depressed, no? Dahil nawalan siya ng trabaho or nanganganib siyang ma-evict sa kanyang bahay. Maaring mag-prescribe ng gamot ang isang psychiatrist, pero ikaw, no, as a social worker, ang ibibigay mo ay case management. No? Tutulungan mo siyang makakuha ng unemployment benefits and housing assistance. Yan. And because of this, no, tinutugunan natin yung pinagmumulan ng stress, hindi lang yung sintomas ng depression. Spotlight on disorders. Una-una, schizophrenia, characterized by hallucinations. This is a chronic mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. Ano bang nangyayari kapag schizophrenic ang isang tao? Example, no, yung you are seeing things, you're hearing things, you're feeling things that aren't real, no, hindi totoo. For delusions naman, these are false, unshakable beliefs, no, about external reality. No, kahit nakikita mo na may ebidensya, no, hindi ka pa rin naniniwala, which is a symptom of a serious mental illness. Depression, core symptoms include low mood, loss of interest, and reduced energy lasting at least 2 weeks. Other symptoms may include changes in sleep, changes in appetite, and changes in energy. Anxiety disorders includes GAD or general anxiety disorder, that is chronic worry, panic disorder, intense terror, and OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, repetitive ritualized behaviors. For organic disorders, we have dementia, memory impairment with clear consciousness. People with dementia may experience memory loss or difficulty thinking, but their consciousness is not clouded. For delirium, fluctuating consciousness and orientation. This is a sudden disturbance in attention and awareness, often caused by illness or medication. If you want, you can check our previous video about social deviation where we discuss disorders in detail. interventions and rehabilitation. Intervention is more than just giving medication. So kung ang doktor ay nagbibigay ng gamot, tayo as a social worker, we help ensure that clients actually take them properly. Drug adherence, vital role in educating clients on the rationale for medication. This is following the prescribed medication schedule. Many clients struggle with this because of distorted beliefs or fears dun sa gamot na iniinom nila. Psychosocial management, where we provide social skills training and vocational placement. For psychoeducation, we help families understand the nature, progression, and treatment of an illness. We educate our clients and their families about their mental health condition. Through this, we were able to empower families to provide support and understand how to help the client cope and to recover. We have a client here, no? Her name is Maria. She is a 32-year-old mother of two who was brought to a government hospital by her sister kasi nakaranas siya ng insomnia, extreme anxiety, and she has statements of hopelessness. Yung doktor niya recommended a short-term admission for stabilization. During the intake, Maria appears cooperative pero overwhelmed siya. She quietly asks, "Kailangan po ba talaga akong ma-admit? Pwede po bang umuwi muna?" And the hospital social worker joins the case as part of the mental health team. Ang gagawin natin dito, we will dissect this case, no, and tingnan natin ito in our social work perspective. Unang-una, we should apply the Republic Act number 11036 or the Mental Health Act to protect the right and provide the client with informed consent. Dito nakita natin, no, the social worker explained the rights, no, under RA 11036, including ito, no, the right to informed consent. Nasabi ng social worker na may karapatan po kayong maintindihan at makilahok sa desisyon. Through this, nag-excel ang social worker for the right to be treated with dignity and respect and the right to participate in decisions about her care. Ano nga bang pwede natin gawin, no? Sa case na ito, before any discharge or admission decision, yung social worker can link the family to a DSWD assistance. Or pwede rin niyang i-refer si Maria to a community-based mental health service. We can also coordinate with the LGU Social Welfare Office for a follow-up. And remember everyone that all decisions, consent discussions, and advocacy efforts should be documented para magkaroon tayo ng accountability, we are aligned with the legal and ethical compliance, and may continuity of care. Since in our previous case, napasadahan natin ang Mental Health Act, explain na rin natin yan. This is our Philippine Mental Health Act, Rights and Frameworks. Ayon sa batas na ito, mental health is not just a medical issue. It's a basic human right for every Filipino to provide timely, affordable, high-quality, and culturally appropriate care while ensuring patients are free from coercion, stigmatization, and discrimination. So in short, you should never be treated differently or discriminated against just because of your condition. Your mental health matters and you have the right to proper support and services. Ano nga bang objective ng batas na ito? No? What does this law aims to achieve? Una-una, to strengthen leadership by developing national policies and programs for mental health. And to make sure na we have clear national policies and regulations for mental health. Pangalawa naman, to establish a national system that responds to psychiatric, neurological, and psychosocial needs. Ito ay para bumuo ng isang integrated national mental health care system para mai-provide na sa atin yung mga pangangailangan natin, hindi lang psychiatric, hindi lang neurological, and also our psychosocial needs. Pangatlo, move mental health care into the basic health services of communities. Hindi lang ito para sa mga hospital. No? Dapat integrated ang mental health strategies sa mga paaralan, sa mga workplaces, and the communities. At ang pinaka-importante, to focus on evidence-based research and information systems to improve services. Lahat ng hakbang ay dapat evidence-based, nakabatay sa research and matibay na datos. Ano nga bang karapatan mo bilang isang service users? As a service user o taong nangangailangan ng psychosocial care, meron kang specific rights. Unang-una, karapatan mong maging malaya sa discrimination and sa stigma. Dapat kang makatanggap ng humane treatment. Ibig sabihin, bawal ang solitary confinement, bawal ang torture, and degrading treatment. Mahalaga ang confidentiality. Hindi pwedeng i-leak ang iyong records o communications ng walang written consent, maliban na lang kung ito ay court order or there is a life-threatening emergency. And remember, within 24 hours ang admission, dapat ipaliwanag sa iyo ang iyong rights sa wikang naiintindihan mo. And users have the right to participate in their own treatment plan. Treatment, consent, and community access. When it comes to treatment, every person is considered to have legal capacity to decide for themselves. Kailangan ng written informed consent bago simulan ng therapy or treatment. Pwede kang gumawa ng advance directive para maisulat mo ang treatment preferences sakaling hindi mo na kayang magdesisyon. You can also appoint a legal representative na tutulong at kikilos para sa iyo. For community integration, services must be available at the city, municipal, and barangay levels, including 24/7 suicide prevention hotlines. For emergency exceptions naman, in psychiatric or neurological emergencies, ang treatment may be given without consent only to prevent immediate harm and kailangan documented and reviewed. Accountability and enforcement. For the oversight, Philippine Council for Mental Health or PCMH serves as the policy-making and coordinating body. Ang Commission on Human Rights naman serves as the watchdog para mag-investigate kung may abuse na nangyayari sa mga facilities. And tandaan, mangipin ng batas. Sino mang lalabag tulad ng hindi pagkuha ng consent or paglabag sa confidentiality, pwedeng makulong yan, no? Ng 6 months to 2 years of imprisonment or fines ranging to 10,000 to 200,000 pesos. At tandaan, obligado rin ang mga employers at schools na gumawa ng policies para labanan ng stigma at suportahan ang mental health ng lahat. Mas expound naman natin ang role ng social worker in mental health. Unang-una, psychosocial assessment. Social workers assess not only symptoms, pero yung whole life context ng isang client. Ano ba yung mga life context? Family relationships, support systems, trabaho ng kliyente natin, income niya, community conditions, yung mga stressors such as poverty, trauma, discrimination, conflict, and their coping skills and strengths. Ginagawa natin to ensure na yung mental health concerns ay naintindihan natin beyond the medical lens. Pangalawa naman, counseling and supportive intervention. We provide individual, group, family counseling, supportive listening, validation, crisis intervention, and emotional containment. When we do counseling, we should never rush our clients and we should respect their pacing. Tulad ng example kanina na nasabi ng client na pwede po bang tumigil muna? And if you have good counseling skills, this will build trust and emotional safety. Third naman, case management and care coordination. Social workers act as a bridge between the clients and services for the mental health professionals, for hospitals, for clinics and community-based services, and sa mga government programs. Social workers ensure that there is a continuity of care and we prevent our clients from being lost sa system. Fourth naman is advocacy and rights protection. Social workers uphold the client's right to dignity, consent, confidentiality, protection from stigma, protection sa abuse, neglect, or discrimination. And we empower client to access for mental health services under the law, no, which is the RA 11036. Kailangan, no, as a social worker, we treat mental health care as a human right and not as a privilege. Fifth naman, family and community engagement. Mental health recovery does not happen in isolation. Social workers, we educate families about mental health conditions. We reduce blame and stigma within the household. Yan. And we mobilize community support systems. Tandaan natin na healing is supported by the client's environment. Six naman, prevention and mental health promotion. Social workers engage in psychoeducation and awareness, stress management, and resilience building. Di ba ang goal natin is prevention, which is early identification of risk factors. In this way, we can prevent crises before they escalate. For our next scenario, which is entitled, Arte Lang Ba Talaga? We have our client here, Jonas. He is a 29-year-old office worker who recently sought help at a public mental health clinic kasi nakaka-experience siya ng panic attacks, hindi siya nakakatulog ng mabuti, and he has inability to concentrate sa kanyang trabaho. And during a family conference facilitated by a social worker, ikaw yon, no? Yung uncle ni Jonah, sabi niya, noong panahon namin, wala namang ganyan. Konting tibay lang ng loob. And yung auntie niya, no, dinagdagan yung sinabi ng uncle niya. Sabi naman niya, baka nadadala lang siya ng stress. Huwag niyo nang palakihin. Jonas sits quietly, shoulders tense, and avoiding eye contact. Ang sabi ng social worker dito, iba-iba po ang karanasan ng bawat tao. Ang nararamdaman ni Jonas ay totoo at may epekto siya sa kanyang pang-araw-araw na buhay. Let us discuss this in a social work perspective. Una-una, recognition of minimization and its harm. The social worker immediately recognizes, no, na yung condition ni Jonas, mini-minimize siya or ini-invalidate. And the comments made by their or by his uncle and auntie may increase shame, self-doubt, no, reluctance to seek help, and the family is unintentionally contributing sa kanyang emotional harm. Anong lesson dito? We should not underestimate mental illness. This is a form of psychological invalidation. Pangalawa, advocacy for the client's lived experience. And the social worker calmly intervenes. Ang sabi niya, iba-iba po ang karanasan ng bawat tao. Ang nararamdaman ni Jonas ay totoo at may epekto sa kanyang pang-araw-araw na buhay. So this reframes mental health as a legitimate health condition and hindi lang siya basta attitude lang or kahinaan lang. Ang dapat natin gawin dito, of course, we should educate, no? We should explain that anxiety and panic disorders are clinically recognized conditions. Symptoms, minsan hindi siya ganun ka-visible and it requires understanding, not comparison. If we were able to educate, no, we can reduce stigma and we can correct misconceptions. Ano pang pwedeng angle dito, no? Protection of dignity and rights, no? Napag-usapan natin yung batas. Kaya si Jonas has the right to be treated with dignity. May karapatan siyang makakuha ng appropriate mental health care. For the social worker, she has to ensure that the discussion remain respectful and non-judgmental. Punta naman tayo sa side ng family niya, no? We should strengthen support system. The social worker guides the family toward supportive role. Una-una, we should listen without dismissing. We should avoid harmful language and we should encourage continued treatment. And just to reframe it, no, and to validate Jonah's experience, ang sasabihin sana nila, hindi ka nag-iisa at hindi ka mahina dahil humingi ka ng tulong. For our key social work insight, belittling mental illness does not make it disappear. It makes people suffer in silence. Talking about mental health can be hard, but it's a brave and important step. Talking about mental health is not always easy, because it involves sharing your personal feelings. Nagiging vulnerable tayo and struggles that many people are afraid or others might not understand. Pero no, despite this difficulty, we should speak up because speaking up shows courage. It's a brave act to acknowledge your own experiences. Moreover, opening up is an important step toward getting help and support and improving your mental well-being. For the things to remember, you don't have to be strong all the time, and your mental health is worth protecting always. This message reminds us that it's okay not to be strong all the time. Lahat tayo, no, we have a moment to struggle, we have stress, we have vulnerability, and these kinds of experience hindi ibig sabihin mahina ka. We should emphasize that your mental health is important and it deserves care. Just like your physical health, you should protect your emotional, your mental well-being by resting. Yan, magpahinga din tayo, no? We should seek support and we should ask help when needed. All right. Thank you for watching today's video on mental health in social work. I hope this gave you a full understanding, no? Ano nga ba yung mental health? Because mental health is not just about an individual. It's also about their environment, their support system, and of course, our mental health act. Remember, talking about mental health is okay. Seeking help is brave and taking care of yourself is essential. Hindi lang para sa iyo ito, kundi para sa mga taong umaasa sa iyo. If you learned something today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on social work. And comment below. Let's continue the conversation and support each other. Take care of your mind, take care of your heart, and always remember your mental health matters. This is the AM Corner, where we start our days right and our futures bright. See you in the next video.